Okay, so I'll be doing some back testing. I was just doing some and I was doing pretty terrible as you can see, so I crashed out and got off for a bit to reset. But let's get back into it. I feel like sometimes you just don't get setups and it's just frustrating. But you can't expect to get setups every day, so I shouldn't be getting that mad. It's a good thing if I'm filtering out setups. You know, you're not supposed to be trading every day. So if you aren't finding trades every day, instead of looking and saying it's a bad thing, you should be looking and saying it's a good thing. Just when you're back testing, I feel like it definitely gets a little frustrating. All right, so let's open up the next day to 9:30 open. We got 9:15 candle. So we got these relevant lows, just got taken out. We got a V-shaped reversal on the 4 hour. On silver, gold, where is it relative to those lows? Did it also take them out? That's that's the second, October 25th. That's the second, October 25th. So that's where these lows are. So we have an SMT there right now. It's looking like it's reversing off of that low. So definitely check back in the metals today. So this weekly opening gap that we kind of just expand away from on all assets. A little more consolidation on NQ, and I feel like that allowed, YM kind of to catch up, but that happened overnight. Yeah, no real SMTs with any key levels here. Might be ignoring the indices for today. And overnight, we have the oils trade into this gap on CL, on RB as well. And HO has just been the strongest asset for a while, so I kind of gotta stop. I just gotta start ignoring the higher time frame, like SMTs that never actually get manipulated. Alright, so SMT there, yeah. Right now with HO, we have SMT with the daily low yesterday. Let's see how that plays out. We'd have to get a V shape out of there. So, are we ignoring the indices or are we ignoring? Forget. Yeah, nothing good here. So we'll go in depth on the metals and the oils today. So we have that kind of bullish SMT, which I kind of forgot about. On the higher time frame here, like that. Um, and in order to get a two-stage, we would need to see either PSP confirming. So 4 o'clock here. Or two-stage PSP. Two-stage SMT or PSP. Two-stage PSP SMT confirming this reversal, and we don't get either of those on the hourly. Gold not looking like it's reversing as much. Silver, it's a clear V-shaped reversal. Let's play the first couple of candles out. Okay, so we have a pretty obvious gap here that gets tapped into right there on gold, and then silver is stronger. Silver's the one that took it out, so that actually would be a two-stage strength switch here. Gold, the overall stronger asset, but no CISD closure right now. So silver is temporarily switched stronger. So I'm gonna look for an entry just because like with this, like there is no entry on gold right now with a failure to close. So yeah, but the risk to reward on silver is pretty bad. I don't know, you could just aim for 2R here. It's a good setup. Kind of a two-stage with this gap and a V shape away from this. And I feel like we have more of a V shape too on silver. A lot of like takes a lot of time to get there, but we do. We trade 2R. What's the way you could handle this? If you want, maybe pull your stop up to here and just kind of trail it for a little more, but seems like it wouldn't play out for you. So you probably end up with about 1R if you did that. I personally don't trail. But if that's your thing, like I don't hate on it at all. You should try to, try to make your winners bigger. So what do we go? We got 2R. Yeah, so if you did do that, yeah, you would have got stopped at about 1R. So I don't know. It's kind of it's smart to pull out this high, and you can aim for 2R. If you require 2R, then you require 2R. Go for 2R. Trust every time. But ooh, look at Goldie Goldie. So gold was the stronger asset overall here. And that's why you could have, I feel like you would go 50% as wick. Um, and you could have aimed here, like we said, stronger pull, like you could aim for here, technically, for 6R. Do you get that signature? Kinda, yeah. Um, at this point, I don't know if I'd want to hold through that. Like it's a good trade, it's not like an A plus plus trade, just because of the relevancy of this two stage. But yeah, in the day kind of plays out. So you're still able, I mean, it's still a good trade here. It's about the same risk to reward. Probably get about 2R, but not bad. So one for one there was the logic. High time frame SMT, and if we didn't get that V shape off that level, like on silver, the way we did, look at that V shape. If we didn't get that V shape, I wouldn't consider this like too valuable. But we do, and we get this kind of strength switch. Silver temporarily switching stronger as it approaches this high. And it doesn't like need to be approaching a high, but I'm just saying like we had liquidity draw right there, and I was able to get 2R on that. So not bad. And what does the indices do? Just out of interest, would we have had a trade here? At market open, on NQ trades this 8 o'clock gap. A lot of bullshitting on YM. Automatically, I don't see anything I like on the indices. I mean, when you're at all-time highs, it's so difficult to really trade them. If I'm being honest. Wait, did we play that out? It's like if you're gonna long, like you don't really have a target on liquidity, so I don't really understand what people, how people trade at all-time highs. Like, you know, if you're trading a universal model ICT concepts, like you're trading how price moves from liquidity to liquidity, like from internal to external, from external to internal. The only trade you can really validate is external to internal, so you're hitting all-time highs and you're going back in and you're retracing. It's the only thing you can really look for, and if you're not, if you're at all-time highs, like what are you longing to? I don't know. I personally just avoid it as I did there, and if I can find another trade, then fine, I take it. You know, that last trade, like the two-stage SMT doesn't have to be exactly like, you know, this low, and then the other asset's doing this, like at that low. You know what I'm saying? Like there we had the SMT there, and then it kind of, right? So price goes like this, and like this, and then it traced up, and then like that. Then we had the second SMT like that with that level, and there was a gap there. Let's say there's a gap there, and then the other asset price was doing this, and not really retracing. So SMT there, and then SMT like there. We get the gap here, and never traded back into it. So like, doesn't have to be exactly like bang bang. We come down to here, and then you know what I'm saying? Like it can be a two-stage in that gap after you trade away, because it's the same logic technically. Okay, so YM pre-market, a lot of London expansion. It looks like. That's 6 a.m. candle expansion. Never mind. Uh, so we form an SMT at the top of this 4 a.m. candle. And why is it relevant? Because it's at all-time highs. So yeah, that SMT could be considered relevant, but now we have a failure swing, so you don't just want to automatically go bearish even though it's a bearish SMT. Because this could be considered a failure swing to these highs now that YM might need to take out. We'll keep a watch on those. Gold taps into a pretty relevant level here. It says SMT is no longer valid. Beautiful V shape out of there. And what highs are gold? I don't know. Now that I'm looking at this V shape on the 4 hour, like it's so beautiful. Um, you almost want to look for another entry to this high. So let's keep an eye on the metals. Consolidation here on the oils. RB, strongest asset. What is this? I'm not liking any of this. I don't even feel like figuring this out, and I don't think anything relevant happened. I'm not trading oils right now. Uh, So, I mean, we still have that SMT. Let's just, for goodness sake, say it's from there. Because I don't feel like going all the way to that price action. So that's our SMT. I just don't feel like going over that low on like a higher time frame. Yesterday we were able to hit that trade on silver, was it? To these highs with that strength switch, SMT. Let me kind of continue through, and we still have these higher time frame objectives intact. And we hit these highs, and we don't manipulate them. We kind of just consolidate, and gold also takes them out overnight. And when gold takes them out, there's no manipulation of the highs. It just kind of consolidates. So right now, I think we could look for inside of this consolidation, one of these assets to be swept, or one of these highs or lows to be swept. Break of consolidation. Give me the trade higher or lower. Possible retracement. And just note that we already have an SMT like that. So it's a two-stage technically. Just note that. Yeah. In a gap. So that's relevant. In the 4 a.m. gap. I don't know, man. That could be a trade right there. Let's check out the indices. We got YM trading up to this high. Really just a strong V shape out of these, off of this low. While NQ and ES didn't react at all the way YM did. So a lot of desynchronization right now. I think I'm more focused on the metals. Silver breaks this SMT in the gap to start. See what the indices end up doing. So YM goes up and takes out these highs. Right. Fails to manipulate them. Oh, all right. We kind of resynchronize here. YM being the last to sweep, so now we can maybe look for a reversal. What does gold and silver do? Tap into this fair value gap and consolidation low, and now I feel like we could expect a new phase of price. I feel like we broke this consolidation, we V-shape out of there. After stalling for a bit. It's not the cleanest V-shape now that I look at it. Yeah, definitely not the cleanest V-shape I've ever seen. Not something I trade, if I'm being honest. Well, I'm kind of consolidating there. So did ES fail to? I don't know what is going on the indices here. Yeah, we should kind of take out these highs and consolidate. It's sick. And look at all this, London expansion. So it's a lot of movement here. You can't expect. I mean, this is. Are we serious? Know when to trade, know when to not to trade. Like, this is know when not to trade. I mean, if you want to take afternoon, the reversal off of nothing, be my guest. I'm stepping out of here. Yeah, we were kind of looking for long, so maybe gold or silver. Just based off this, continuation we were in. We had a little V-shaped reversal off this SMT or holding price. Um, yeah, but that would have been a very low prop trade had we got that SMT. So I'm not even mad about that. The oils were whack. Looks like they. Let's check if we had anything on the oils because we do go up and we take a pretty relevant bit of liquidity here in a gap. I mean, we've been trying to get this for a bit. HO has been above it, right? No, not even. Just kind of looking for SMTs that we maybe could have traded. RB, yesterday's low. Yeah, look at that. Just want to see y'all. We hit yesterday's low. V shape off of that at 4 a.m. RB, where are we relative to that? Right there. V shape. Pretty clean V shape as well. Then we retrace into this 530 gap. RB holds above. So far, technically not a T-stage. That's not a T-stage signature. Right there. Maybe with HO. Because we take out it here. RB held, and then it never comes down and trades into that gap. But maybe a 15-minute entry exists. That 630 gap, HO. There. Little V shape action. So like that. And overall, RB is our strong asset here. So we're on the 15, scale down to the minute. There's our two-stage. Again, this entry would be early. There's kind of a move down. So right here, once we kind of break this level, you can look for entry on that CISD. Stop on the low. What can you chase? Possibly these highs. Yeah, I think you'd say these equal highs would be the best point of liquidity for 3R. It's pretty good. So you're hitting 2R. At that point, you're probably break even. And then what happens? You'd come and get stopped out with this wick. So gappy right here. So logically, where could you move your stop? And there's not really a logical spot to move your stop until after this, and then you'd move it to there. You move your stop to there, and then you could chase those highs. Yeah, so like a good two-stage entry there. The same as yesterday's. If you were looking at oils, I kind of just decided I didn't want to trade oils pretty early on, and I actually happened to get the cleanest price from it. So that sucks. Probably looks sloppy in a minute. Shit, where did we go? Where? Yeah, the indices not doing really much of anything that I want to see. Like that's rough. That's rough price action. That's consolidation. So good staying out of that. Gold and silver didn't see what we wanted to. The oils actually looked like it had the trade, but then again, it was at like 7:30. Is like, are we really taking that? No, the answer is no. But the model is there. The model plays out. The logic, V shape. It's very repetitive. There it is. So we had that 6:30 gap inside. What the hell is it? We had that 6:30 gap inside of this hourly candle right here, and it had a fair value gap with HO. You know, HO takes out this low, V shapes off of it, comes to this gap, doesn't trade back into it. RB does. Strength switch for HO. So HO, you could trade to these highs. RB, once like these highs is really what you're targeting. Um, Higher time frame objective here. Let's see. So we're looking around like here, right? Pretty nice trade up there. Up to there on the five. That's on the 5 minute chart though. We were entered on the one. Obviously, I didn't actually trade this. We entered on the one. Damn, look when you really scale out, like entering on the one is just so like you're risking like nothing. Like when you really scale out, like that's my stop. It's just so crazy to think about. And that's why being a GXT trader is the best. Like that's my risk. You know, we're gonna take losses. Like I didn't even actually trade this. Like I'm just hypothetically, but that was our model. We didn't see the model on anything else. But hypothetically, like you're gonna take losses. You just have to accept it. But like trading a good risk to reward, if not risking that much, is like it's so awesome. It's good, better for your mental, and in my opinion too. Like now that I've actually like put money into the market, like I've realized when you're holding a trade for this long, like when you're not back testing and you're just holding, like it's so mentally tough. But if you don't have to risk that much as much money, like I used to trade purely 2 to 1s, but now like I'm looking at 4 to 1 risk. Like I don't have to risk as much to make as much money when you're risking a 4 to 1. And eventually I will size up and risk what I used to. But I've sized down for a little bit because like I feel like it was messing with my mental like in trading losses aren't supposed to matter. Like it's all about statistics and like if you do everything right, even if you do everything right, like trading at a 60% edge with a 2 to 1 win rate is absurd. Like that's so good. But like you when you're trading 60%, like you're going to lose. Like it's guaranteed you're gonna lose. And that's just hard to accept, but it's easier to accept when you aren't risking as much. So I suggest like for early people like size down a little bit. It's really been helping me out. Thursday, did we already get to 9:30? Yeah. Okay. All right. So, but yeah, size down. It'll help with your mental. Is pretty much what I was trying to say. Like, psychology is the biggest part of trading. Here we go. No SMT, bearish SMT yesterday. Failure to reverse. This low on YM, so it looks like NQ and ES are pretty much bound to take them out pre-market. Gold, silver. Let's see here. V-shape reversal on the higher time frame objective. What did we get yesterday? It looks like a little bit of retracement now. That's a really deep retracement though. Yeah, that's a really deep retracement. I'm not sure if I'm gonna guarantee a long after seeing that in gold. And look at how this candle's printing right now versus on silver. So gold sketching me out for longs on there. Okay, so the oils. Oh god, relevant low. Yesterday's taken out in this gap kind of RB. So that was yesterday's low taken out, right? Yeah, RB above yesterday's low. And then we got HO also above yesterday's low. And what do we print? As of right now, that's a two-stage PSP. As of right now. With CL. No guarantee it's gonna hold, but right now it's a two-stage. Do we see anything good? Yeah, so we're gonna see what happens when we tap into this liquidity. I just want to play this hourly candle and just see what happens with this oil. Um, Trying to find anything here on the metals. I'm not seeing much. Here I'm definitely seeing something. Definitely something. V-shape reversal out of there. What was the one that took it out? RBCL. Yeah, it kind of hits that low and V-shapes out. So 9:45. Played three candles. Alright, so do we still have that PSP on the 4? And if so, this could look good. So CL still bearish. HO still bullish. You always got to check what happens in the first 15 of the indices. Shit is so volatile. Okay, so wow. Why went from the weakest asset to somehow the strongest in this last 15 minutes? Or what the fuck? Nice. That's, average day on the indices. Like, I mean, this shit is so dumb sometimes. Trading on the indices, man. Like, I'm starting to like gold and silver more. What do we do? We come up and take these highs. This happens when NQ and ES take out this low. So YM kind of hit this target, kind of consolidated, and then as soon as it takes it out, it rips bullish. Um, Now we're at this high. We'll see how, price reacts there. That's absolutely ridiculous. We're in just a massive consolidation right now on gold. I would wait till I see this high taken out for anything. Because right now, I mean, even if I did find an SMT in this price, like to go bullish, it's consolidation, it's chop. It's not relevant. play these next three. Okay, so I think we just printed our two-stage reversal here. CL, so we're looking at CL. Yeah, so bearish candle prints, bullish candle on HO, also bullish SMT. So we can look for these highs. That's a long-term target, but overall, like we're in an uptrend since we reversed off of that level. CL also in an uptrend. If it takes out this gap, which could have been needed to be taken out, and then we scale to the hourly. Takes out this low, and we don't really have the V shape yet. More so on, I'd say, HO. Check the 5. So what time does CL take us? 9 o'clock. What's HO doing at this moment? That's HO. It's, reversing and it's going stronger. So this is, an entry right here. So we kind of respect this order block also. Something to note. Silver takes out this high, which I was saying I feel like I need to see for a new phase of price. Wait. So we could possibly expect a reversal there. So YM comes up, takes out these highs, and Q and ES take out these lows and begin to reverse a little retracement here. So I feel like if we see kind of YM just consolidate, let's see if we want to enter one of these oils. So if I want to see the wick get created here. I don't know if I want to see a full two-stage SMT, but definitely some retracement. Here's the thing, we really didn't even gap away, and I don't think we did on CL. Yeah, look at this 15-minute. This kind of invalidates this SMT to me. I'm not trading that. Straight up, not trading that. If it looks sketchy to you, don't trade it. Like, it really is that simple. And YM, we're gonna see if it manipulates this high, which I already don't think it does. Yep. And we'll get the closure here on above these. This is the desynchronized. Let's watch a video on this. Asset synchronization. Taking out this 2200. That's it. All the way up there. How good do I feel about this trade? I feel awful about it. I feel absolutely awful about it. I feel like we're gonna get stopped out 1000%. We just printed a 15-minute gap. On ES. So let's let this play. Yeah, sorry if I didn't make that clear. I'm not entering yet because I feel like we would get stopped out in that trade. I like this. I like what we're about to do here. Gaps. Yes, I want to see maybe an SMT between the two. Into that gap and Q. Ooh, holds above it a little bit. Gold. Comes up, takes out that, breaks that SMT there. So that's no longer an SMT. Will it reverse off of that high? There's never a chance to enter there. An HO. Got the SMT. Here we're starting to see a little more. So this is the what I was looking for a little bit. Like just a little more of a V shape away. You know, give me some confirmation that you're really respecting. Yeah, I'm starting to like this. Okay. We're forming a gap. Not really. 30-minute will surprise you, but we're V-shaping away. It's the opening of our 10 o'clock candle. Let's play this 30-minute out. Silver, gold. Both assets responding to that high. Yeah, definitely no trade. I mean, like, there's no SMT, there's no anything. There's no confluence in that trade except for the lagging asset. And you don't place a trade off of one confluence. I think the oil. Oh, damn. Well, now we have gaps away. Not really. Alright, so if I have an SMT and any of these gaps, by the way, I'm taking it. Give me something. There we go. HO holds above. So now we just need the. What? Now we need the closure above this. Nope, not yet. Close, but no scar. And now it's kind of consolidating. Nothing you want to enter on. Damn, bro. We, you know, we were looking at the fucking HO entry. Where would it have been? Right there. Up and low. To that high, you're getting about 2.7 R. Go all the way. 7 R, but you wouldn't close here. Kind of enter a consolidation, so now you need manipulation of this range. Does CL manipulate? No. You're not going to trade again until you get manipulation. Didn't get it. HO gets it. So what do we form? SMT like there-ish. So we actually do get a two-stage, and I forgot it was a two-stage. There's a PSP, so that's like it's not just entering on a P. Yeah, damn. I don't know if that trade was for me, to be honest, but maybe. Where's this SMT on? Yeah, so we're gonna wait for the closure of this candle. We're kind of going into afternoon session right now. Little SMT there, if it holds. Yeah, it breaks, it breaks. There's no trading idea there anymore. I'm gonna end the session there. I feel like we're edged out of a lot of trades, but it's good to like validate your ideas, honestly. here we have this hobby taken out, no reversal. The clear high time frame objective is this. And then silver also takes that out. So yeah, the indices, okay, so YM trades up to here, doesn't take out this high reverses. Um, Trades, doesn't reverse, continues through. Super interesting day with YM being the first one to take out this low, yesterday's low, and then going up and reversing price out of nothing. Like, what? Alright, I'm gonna end the stream there. We had one good trade through like 3 days. Did we take a loss? I forget. But that one trade was like 2.7 R. So really all you need is two good trades a week, man. It's really all you need. Ideally, you get more, because it gets boring, but you got to be selective and you got to trade your model. And if your model doesn't present itself, like you're not trading. And also, like, I feel like back testing, you're kind of, for me at least, I'm kind of hustling through these trades more. Like, I definitely missed that one oil trade. Whereas, like, when you're just trading, though, when you're trading in real time, like, it's, things are going by slower. You're not rushing like you are in back testing. So, there's that to take into account, but overall, not a bad session. I'll take it. Fading trades isn't bad. It's never a bad thing. Um, you're just avoiding losing money. Like it's never bad to be too selective. I mean, there's a line that you can cross from being too selective to not selective enough, but overall, not bad. Thanks for watching. Bye.